Yes, Madelyn.
Did I ever tell you what my favorite exhibit was in Zoo Tycoon?
Never.
Well, I could tell you it was the piranhas, but I'd be lying. Ah!
And welcome to another episode of Talk This.
It's dangerous to podcast alone.
I'm one of your hosts, Emma.
And I'm your other host, Madelyn.
And this is our first episode that we didn't post the first week. So
welcome back to return listeners.
Yeah.
We're glad you subscribed.
Thanks for sticking around.
Or if you're new, thanks for tuning in, whoever you are.
Yeah.
So today on Talk This, our two games today are going to be Zoo Tycoon, which was a real classic in the Paquette household growing up, and also Gravity Rush.
She keeps calling it Gravity Falls, which is just a different thing entirely.
I haven't seen the TV show either, but let's keep a Gravity Falls count for the podcast, because I guarantee I'll say it at least 4 times.
So just a one thing, because Madelyn knows nothing about Gravity Rush, but for the 20 people of you who do know what Gravity Rush is, you're asking, like, wait, this came out before, like, you think, like, the
when
new
did
game
it come
should
out?
be. Well, it originally came out on the Vita in 2012, but they just released a remastered edition this year on the PS4, and then the sequel is coming out it's probably already out by the time this episode airs. So I thought that was enough justification to sort of get it on the list.
What we're saying is, does anybody have a Vita?
No.
A Vita. Don't cry for me, PlayStation Network. The truth is, I didn't buy a Vita.
But we'll get back to the whole Vita.
I do train
Vita
in
question.
that, so that was like a gift.
Yeah, that was, something
I
for
wonder
you
if that's
that nobody else
copyrighted.
gets.
I'm not gonna get sued. Is Andrew Lloyd Webber gonna come after me?
I don't think so.
No, it's a parody. I'm good.
Yeah.
Quick, a crash course in copyright law. Crash course in copyright law. Wow. That was good.
Crash course
Gravity
in
Falls.
copyright law.
Gravity Falls. Anyway, so we're gonna get started with talking about Zoo Tycoon. I feel like everyone who grew up around our age and even younger has played, or older because they had Zoo Tycoon 2, has played Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah. And it wasn't just Zoo Tycoon 2, and there was a whole series of Tycoon games, right?
Right. There's Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah. There's also Zoo Tycoon expansion packs.
Right, because we eventually had Zoo Tycoon 2, but I think Zoo Tycoon 2 is not as good, but maybe it's because we didn't have the expansion packs. But we had Zoo Tycoon with the marine expansion packs, which, I don't know, is that unethical? Have we learned from Blackfish that we're not supposed to keep marine animals?
Probably. We probably gave them way too small tanks, is what I remember.
Yeah.
And then we also
made them do shows.
But
also the dinosaur expansion pack.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other ethical question.
That's just Jurassic Park.
Has anyone seen Jurassic Park and determined that this was a bad idea?
Yeah.
But no, I'm thinking about it because with the death of is it Tycoon? Is that how you say it?
Tycoon?
The orca at SeaWorld.
I don't know.
The one they talked about it in Blackfish. He killed 3 different trainers over the course of his life, probably because he was really unhappy. This was something I never even thought about as a zoo person. I always knew that my trainers and my zookeepers and zoo vets would be totally safe.
Yeah, they didn't die. Nobody could die in Zoo Tycoon.
No, that's not true.
I'm pretty sure no one could die, because I did pretty horrible things to people.
I'm pretty sure animals can eat people.
Are you sure? Because I feel like they can't actually eat people.
I can't remember, but I just don't... I mean, everybody did it, right? I'm not a sociopath. I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah.
Speaking of violent video games,
yeah.
Everybody made a zoo or took one of the pre-made starter zoos and fenced off the entrance and let their animals run wild, right? Right?
Yeah.
Because I sure did.
I went a little farther in my sociopathic tendencies. I really remember distinctly I made a human exhibit.
A It's not possible.
No, I fenced in the people.
Oh my god.
I gave them a drink machine, a food machine, and a trash can. And
wow.
Just let them be.
That's a whole different level of screen. Like, I was like, oh yeah, like, let the animals roam free, hunt the humans. Like, I was just like, oh, Hunger Games. Like, you know, not the Hunger Games that come out then, but if it had, like, you know, let the strong survive.
Uh-huh.
But that's really cruel.
Yeah, I just went for it.
Man, if we're talking about video games that mess people up, like, why are we talking about shooters?
Yeah.
Zoo Tycoon is much more accessible.
Yeah. No, but I remember the reason I felt like I could do that is they wouldn't die, right? Like in Sims, I couldn't play Sims because like the Grim Reaper would come every time, like the first night, and it would freak me out, and I would just like press the power button until the computer turned off, right? So, like, I feel like that's why it was more sociopathic in Zoo Tycoon, because they didn't actually, like, die. And I'm aware the Sims weren't real people.
I don't think so. Because what would happen then if you let the animals, it wouldn't have been fun. Like, they wouldn't die of starvation. I don't think you could starve humans to death. This has gotten really dark really fast.
Well, you can starve them in The Sims.
No,
I know that.
The Sims, that's for a whole other day.
Yeah.
There's lots to talk about The Sims. But, like, I'm pretty sure the predators, because they could eat other animals.
That's true, they could eat other animals.
And they could also breed like rabbits. That would be the problem. Like, zebras, super easy to raise, right? Mm-hmm. Like, great starter exhibit, super easy, until you get up from the computer for a minute to go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, you have 2,000 zebras. And you're, like, trying to ship them off back to the wild and be, like, a good zoo doing that, but nobody wants them.
Yeah.
And then you have to sell the zebras, and your other zebras are sad.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what was rough about Zoo Tycoon 2?
What?
So in Zoo Tycoon, like, your animals die of old age, or they get sick, and sometimes your zookeepers can't save them. Like, learning about the circle of life. That's valuable. What's not valuable is, in Zoo Tycoon 2, the carcass of your animal laying in the exhibit.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that?
I do not remember that.
Well,
I clearly have blocked that out.
Because in Zoo Tycoon 1, your animal just disappears when it dies. Mm-hmm. In not 1, just Zoo Tycoon, or Zoo Tycoon Marine and Dinosaur expansion packs. In Zoo Tycoon 2, there's a carcass of Zebra 3.
Does, if it's a marine, well, I guess we didn't have the marine expansion pack, but I wonder if they, like, float on top of the...
Oh, wow. That's, oh my god. I'm phobic of, like, I can't look at fish tanks at pet stores.
We killed all our fish once.
I
killed all our fish once.
Well,
I don't even know what it's just
you put in too much food.
How does that work, though?
Got stuck in the filter, you put in too much food, we came home, and we had some sushi.
We did not have sushi.
Well,
we did not eat our fish.
Could have.
But there was one that I swear had been alive my entire life.
That's not true. We didn't have
fish
our
that
entire
one
life.
clear one.
I know the fish that you're talking about. It had lived for like 4 years until you killed it, but you were older than 4 and thus have no excuse.
Whatever.
Clearly, Zoo Tycoon is bringing up a lot of buried resentment.
Although I liked how you could like name your animals.
Yeah.
It's probably why like whenever there's an animal in a game, I get like inordinately happy about it.
That's possible. Zoo Tycoon was that formative.
Yeah. And probably also why I like dogs.
I feel like the people were always so hard to please, though.
Yeah, they were. They were just so whiny.
Who just, like, didn't want to be at the zoo. I was like, why did you come? Why did you come to Madelyn's super awesome
Clearly
zoo
they're very
of fun?
Depressed people. Like, they had kids and they hate their kids now, but they still have to do things with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're those people you see in public at the zoo who are, like, yelling at their kids all the time. And people really would not throw things into the trash unless there was just right there. Like, you had to have, like, in a food court, you had to have as many trash cans as people.
Yeah. It was so fun, though. It's like you get to, like, upgrade, and there was that, like, bear puppet house.
Yeah, there were some weird things, like, not, like exhibits, like, weird little...
I guarantee the zoo does those things, though. Like, zoos just do weird programs.
But, like, they don't have, like, they don't have giant restaurants at the zoo, either.
Indoor food courts? I don't know, I'm trying to think through the zoo. Depends.
No,
Maybe
the
not.
Smithsonian National Zoo is all outdoors.
No, they have indoor food things.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
She's a liar. They don't.
Okay. Well, we'll look it up and post it. We'll fact check it.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll let you know who was right, but it was me. So.
It was me. I was right.
I feel like Zoo Tycoon was fun in that, like, there was nothing you had to do.
Yeah.
Your zoo had to turn a profit, sort of, but also if it didn't, whatever.
Yeah, and you had pretty much limitless space, too. Like, it wasn't limitless, but there was enough space that I never filled up the entire zoo.
To be fair, it doesn't really teach you about running a zoo, like, no surprise, but it doesn't really teach you about running, like, a successful business.
No, it really doesn't.
It's just, like, keep building. Like, here's all these new things you can build. It's like, maybe you shouldn't be building all the time. People don't like construction at your zoo. Although
but there
there's
wasn't
no
really,
construction.
It just sort of appears. There's no construction time.
I just feel like Zoo Tycoon, like, wasn't realistic with the dinosaurs.
Wow, yeah, the dinosaurs were so unrealistic.
Oh, the dinosaurs, like the electric fences, the giant fences.
They had to hatch from eggs too, like big giant eggs.
It was fun.
Yeah, and you had to hire specialists for them.
Yeah, that's true. You did learn that like ordinary zookeepers can't take care of dinosaurs.
Yes,
that's an important life lesson. Maybe Jurassic Park should have learned that.
Yeah. Chris Pratt can't look after your dinosaurs.
Not very well, anyway.
Yeah.
He'd, like, chill and eat with them. Like, Chris Pratt could look after them in, like, a cool babysitter way.
The dinosaur thinks of him as a cool babysitter.
Yeah.
Dinosaur has that much presence of mind.
Like, Chris Pratt, or whatever, what's his name? I don't care. The dinosaur is still like, Chris Pratt!
I literally have no idea what his character's name is in Jurassic Park.
The new one.
It's just Chris Pratt.
That's
doing things
in almost all movies now, I feel like.
Well, I guess. I don't know. I feel like at least like in like Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not like thinking like Chris Pratt because like he happens to be very similar to the character, I guess.
But that's what I'm saying is that now he's gotten to this point of cultural ubiquity.
But he was just in the serious space romance.
Yeah, and everyone hated it.
Yeah.
And they still, with Jennifer Lawrence, it's even worse. It's like, let's watch Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm saying is the dinosaurs are like, oh, Chris Pratt, like, our cool babysitter, like, let's order some pizza, like, he sells me weed.
He sells me weed.
You know? Like, that's who Chris Pratt is to these dinosaurs. And you made a mistake hiring him instead of splurging for a slightly more specialized dinosaur specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's really on you, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you just decided to delete the
Or
fence.
the new one's called Jurassic World, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a theme that's even more theme parky than Jurassic Park, I guess.
Which is kind of like what the zoo is like, honestly. It's like almost a theme park than Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah, it is.
Once you make a really successful one. It's basically a theme park.
Yeah.
With animals.
Yeah.
Because eventually it gets boring. It's boring to add more animals. You don't have enough space. That's what I remember, running out of space.
I don't remember ever running out of space.
Well, just like making exhibits that were too big at the beginning, like having to continually expand your freaking zebra exhibit.
I guess.
Or gazelle.
But I mean, running out of space in that, like, the space you left yourself, but not, like, your whole zoo took up the entire space.
No, that's because you can build on, like, the outer walls of the zoo.
Well, I know, but I never got that far.
Well,
sometimes that's where I set up my
you
human
are a
exhibit.
serious player, Emma, so...
Sometimes I would pick up the people and move them all the way to the edge and make them wander back.
Probably what we're learning in this is Emma is a cruel, insensitive human being.
Yeah,
like,
that is
really
what we're learning.
How can I work Zoo Tycoon into my, like,
Well, I thought
gym?
It was funny that you could just, like, pick up the people and move them wherever you wanted to.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
That part's, like, a little weird. Like, I feel like you shouldn't be able to do that.
Do real zoos have that capability? Hope not. Were you there when the orangutan got loose?
Yes.
In a real-life Zoo Tycoon moment, we were once in a zoo where the orangutan...
We had to stay in the stinky monkey
No, I think it was the
house.
reptile house.
No, because it smells.
It did smell.
So it shouldn't have been the reptile house. It was like the monkey house.
Yeah.
Well, they probably wouldn't have put us in the monkey house. But it was one of those, like the small mammal house.
Yeah.
It really stinks.
I don't remember it being that traumatic.
I don't remember it very much. I don't think we really processed what was happening.
Much like those Zoo Tycoon people in Zoo Tycoon, who process nothing but, I'm hungry, I need to pee.
Yeah.
I'm cranky for some unknown reason.
Yeah.
I think you could name them too.
Yeah, you could name the people.
Or
because I named them in their little exhibit.
Oh my god. What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Okay.
They were very happy. They had everything they could need.
How would you feel eating like bacon as you like, you know what I mean, something meaty or a burger? I guess there's no cows in Zoo Tycoon, but you know, if you're sitting there like eating a bison burger, playing Zoo Tycoon while you care for your bison, would that be a moral quandary for you?
No. I mean, sometimes I'm struck by guilt from eating meat. I don't eat very much like pork anymore. But no, you just sort of very separated from it, you know?
You don't find
like,
that the virtual animals cause guilt for you?
Well, they're virtual for one thing. And no. Eating meat is just so normalized. You know, like you just eat it.
Whoa, normalize meat.
Well, it is.
I know it is.
Like you don't really process it being like, oh, this was a living creature. It's like, this is meat. You know?
I wonder, like, if zoos have to be careful about the kind of food that they serve. Like, I get that, like, vegans don't really come to zoos anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a little hypocritical.
I mean, they do serve, like, cheeseburgers and hot dogs.
Right, I get that, but, like, most zoos don't have cows and pig exhibits. Yeah. Unless they have some kind of petting zoo, which maybe they do. Wow, were there petting zoos in Zoo Tycoon?
I don't think so.
What a mistake.
Were there maybe, like, horse rides?
I don't think so.
What a mistake.
We could have programmed it. Is there a Zoo Tycoon 3 coming, ever?
I don't know. Was there a Zoo Tycoon 3?
Or is there going to be?
I don't know.
We'll update you on that, too, on social media. Because Zoo Tycoon 3, man, I'd play that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go back. Well, yes, I would. I would go back and play Zoo Tycoon original. I would not play 2. It was too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And there were too many dead animal corpses.
Did we ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon?
We had like a Disney one. Like Disney roller coaster builder. I don't know. I was not very good at it. Possibly because I don't really like roller coasters.
Yeah.
And it was like a simulator. Like you got to ride it eventually, and that's not really my thing. There was Restaurant Tycoon. Which I remember being difficult, but fun.
Yeah.
In that, like, man, I wish I could open my own restaurant.
Yeah.
But that game really does teach you, like, it's hard.
Yeah, it does.
Restaurant Tycoon is, like, legit. I mean, it's not. Obviously, it's not. But it's more legit than Zoo Tycoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really do have to limit the number of dishes you have on your menu.
Yeah.
And splurge on good servers.
Yeah, and, like, you have to, like, buy the furniture, and it's always way expensive.
And people can't sit too close. See, here's the thing. When I was playing Restaurant Tycoon as whatever, middle school, high schooler. I hope that doesn't make me sound weird that I was playing Restaurant Tycoon as a... Like, did I age out of Restaurant Tycoon? Am I too old to have been playing Restaurant Tycoon? Whatever. When I was playing Restaurant Tycoon, pre-adulthood, like, I hadn't gone to very many fancy restaurants. Yeah. Ever. Yeah. We're not, like, a big gourmet as, like, a family.
No, we sort of, like, for our fancy events, we go to, like, Legal Seafood and P.F. Chang's.
Yeah.
Those are our fancy restaurants.
You know, quote-unquote fancy. That's fine. Man, there's nothing wrong with Legal Seafood and P.F. Chang's. Yeah. Unless you're eating at Legal Seafood while constructing your marine exhibit of fish. In which case, you know. Emma would probably be fine with it because she's making her human exhibit. Yeah. But, you know, just raising it as a possible quandary. But yeah, so, like, now, as, like, a college student who, like, goes on dates and stuff, it's like, I do go to fancy restaurants. And I now realize that it's really annoying to sit people too close together. Yeah. In Restaurant Tycoon, I would just be like, cram in as many tables, we gotta make the money. But like, wow, I hate it when I'm sitting so close to people. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's like the old Jewish couple, and they're like asking you if your food is good. And that's fine. I like them. But I just don't like having to like squeeze into the seat and like
See, I don't remember doing. I was very preoccupied with the aesthetics in my restaurant tycoon games. Like I wanted them to all like have a theme.
Nah, food above all.
And I didn't want to put any too close to the bathroom because I thought that was disgusting.
That is true. But see, the problem for me was it's like I must have been sort of channeling my own indecisive food nature because I'd want to have everything on the menu. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, everything. Of course, everything. Like, gotta have as many choices as possible.
Yeah. Wasn't there some, like, dramatic, storyline to Restaurant Tycoon, too?
Yeah, you were, like, trying to... It's, like, your father's business or whatever.
Yeah. It was, like, weirdly dramatic.
What if you combined Restaurant Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon? It's like, you have to start a successful zoo restaurant.
That'd be weird.
It'd be cool, though. You'd have to, like, come up with the right kind of animal-themed food.
I guess.
But, like, what if you're trying to, like, a cat cafe, you know?
You have to try to start a cat cafe.
Yeah.
There's a niche market for you.
Well, people love cat cafes.
There was one in Spain. I didn't go to it.
There's one in the city, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to get, like, reservations. Like, you can't just show up. People love that stuff. But you gotta be really careful because about health code.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's just like...
I would do it.
Assuredly, there would be cat hair.
If it was dogs, I'd be there. I'd be there every day.
Well, yeah, duh.
But see, that's the problem. We're not cat... Like, we'll never understand.
We have not had good experience with cats.
We had fun. I mean, I don't know. I just don't... I don't want to alienate all the cat lovers right now.
I know. I'm sure there's perfectly nice cats out there.
Yeah.
Like, just that all the cats I've met and spent any time with have been nasty, and I've usually gotten clawed.
I guess I just don't understand why you would want a cat instead of a dog.
Yeah.
That's sort of my thing. It's not so much that, like, oh, evil cats!
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I've met, like, 3 cats, and they've all been awful.
But I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, like, cats don't love you. That was a big statement. I was like, oh, that's not being controversial.
Don't love you.
They don't love you. Boo. Or they just don't love you the way that a dog loves you. Mm-hmm. And I need that doggo love. What about petting Zoo Tycoon? I need to make sure you had something for the cat people and the dog people and the allergic people.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I would play
Pet
that.
Shop Tycoon.
That's what we'll have at my expanding video game gym. Mm-hmm. Is petting Zoo Tycoon.
How would that be exercise?
You have to construct the fences and stuff. Care for the animals, take them on walks. We just have a petting zoo and use our members as for labor.
Staff.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You could like bench the cow. You'd be really strong to bench a cow.
Oh my gosh.
You could like milk the cow. We'd have a farm. It's a farm. Okay. It's not a gym.
Churn the butter.
Yeah.
We went to a museum once where it was like, how much can you do these household tasks? What museum was that?
I think it's American history.
American history? Yeah. It was like, how much can you wring this towel?
Yeah.
And churn this butter?
And it was bad.
Yeah. We were really not good at it. Well, the thing with the twisting thing, though, is it wouldn't let you, like, readjust your grip and, like, keep twisting.
Right, if you were good at it, you wouldn't have to.
Well, that doesn't even, like, you can't.
If you had really good wrist strength.
Okay.
If you hadn't spent so much time building exhibits for humans, maybe you'd be able to wring a towel competently.
Plus, I feel like you have to wring it in different spots to really get all the water out. Right? Like, if you just wring it, like, it's still wet on the sides.
A zookeeper would know that. A zookeeper would know the answer to that, because I guarantee they use a lot of towels.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have just slowed down while you were doing it. And just let it fall to earth kind of naturally.
Oh, haha.
Instead of being in a gravity rush.
Yeah, so Gravity Rush. It is a weird game. Your cat, which isn't actually your name necessarily, but someone decides to call you that because you don't have any memory, when you wake up, and you're a gravity shifter, which means that you can shift your gravity to do whatever you want, essentially.
Okay.
So you can fly, but you're like flying.
Okay, yeah.
And you can also use that to like attack and do all these things. And there's these weird little demon Nevi creatures that have sort of swarmed this town that you wake up in, and parts of the town have been sort of swallowed into this other realm that you have to go get the parts of the town back.
Can you shift your gravity so it's like, you're like, you're a little bit, you're 100% flying up towards the sky, and then you shift it so it's like 50-50, so you can like walk in the sky?
No. You can only like fall in different directions.
Can higher level gravity shifters do that?
I don't know. You've only met one other, I think.
Gotcha.
In the place I am right now. Anyway. But it's sort of it's like a fun game. It doesn't take very much thought, and the gameplay is super fun. But it originally came out on the Vita, which is sort of like the ugly stepchild of the Sony family. Handheld gaming is just like not a thing anymore.
The Wii killed it, I think.
Why did the Wii kill it?
Okay, because let's be honest, right? Nobody ever had a PSP or a Vita or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, handheld gaming was Game Boy and its brethren,
okay.
DS, right? But, like, handheld gaming was, like, casual gamers, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon or Zelda or whatever. Nintendogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was casual gamers, it was younger gamers who they just weren't making as many games for. It's people who were gaming on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one, obligatory mention of the loss of local multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Two, the Wii. The Wii is super accessible. I mean, it's not the greatest system. We'll talk about that a lot, right? Like, it's very limited in what it can do.
Yeah.
But, so are handheld games.
Yeah. Well, I think you're overlooking the more obvious element of where the handheld gamers went.
Where did they go? Oh,
Phones.
duh. To their... Wow. What an idiot.
The Wii! The Wii made the death of handheld gaming!
I think the Wii contributed. I think the Wii contributed to Nintendo's sort of...
Sure. But I think that a lot of handheld gaming now has just gone to mobile. Like, a lot of casual gamers now just play it on their phones. And they don't have to get any extra hardware.
Honestly, yeah. Especially now for, I would get a system if I wanted to play the new Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the 3DS still has, like, a couple of things that sort of support it, and, like, push it along and make it survive, I guess.
I just feel like with the focus on console games being so much on, like, graphics and better graphics.
Yeah.
Like, necessarily, handhelds sort of fall behind.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. But I mean, like, they have the Pokemon games. The Fire Emblem games sell well enough.
Fire Emblem could go to mobile, though.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. It'd be a large mobile game.
It'd be a big mobile game, but it could. Like, episodes.
I think it would be better to go to, PC.
True.
Just because it can support a little bit more than your phone. I mean, there have been some Fire Emblem games that they released on the GameCube and the Wii also.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just saying that, like, what do you need a mobile, a different hardware for? Like, probably Pokemon. Like,
yeah.
I'll acknowledge that. We're also used to playing Pokemon on our game. Well, and Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I'm hand-waving at Pokemon Go because it's just not the same.
Yeah.
Like, these huge worlds and these billion Pokemon that there are now, there's no way that could ever be on mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very, it could never.
Yeah. But what else? Like, when do I ever hear about a release of a mobile, not a mobile game, of a handheld game?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So weird, though. Such like a fixture of growing
up.
There's
the digital releases of the Phoenix Wright games that they're still making.
Wow. Emma loves Ace Attorney.
We'll probably talk about that in another episode.
It's in the hat.
It's in the hat.
It will come up.
I love Ace Attorney.
It could be soon. It could be in a year.
And Square Enix has the Bravely second and the one that came after that. Bravely Default and Bravely Second.
I just wonder what the sales are on those.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in this applies to the Vita too, is that a lot of sort of, I think that Japan still uses them, right?
Okay.
So there's a lot of Japanese sort of releases that come out, or not Japanese releases, but games that were developed by Japanese companies that still come out. So like Gravity Rush, for instance, was started on the PS3, but then moved to the Vita.
I just don't see why you would ever.
Well, I was reading something about sales. That it said that the Vita sold better in Japan than the PS4.
Really? That's bizarre.
I'm Googling it now, so that's what the clicking sounds in the background are. And this is from Wikipedia, so like take it with a grain of salt.
Oh, yeah, here's the deal. Even the librarians at my college now are saying like Wikipedia is legit. Unless you're on some like this might not be, but if you're looking at something very scientific, like if you're looking at linguistics articles or anything that would like take any sort of real knowledge to look at, it's probably legit. They're so careful now.
Here, okay. The platform has been considered to have sold well in Japan, where it outsold the PS4 in 2015 and reached 5 million units sold in 2016.
Wow. That seems crazy to me. Because literally, I've never heard of the Vita. I couldn't tell you what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a PSP.
I mean, I figured it looks like a PSP.
But one thing the Vita does that they often promote it like in conjunction with their consoles, because you can like remote play, so you can stream games from your PS4 onto your PS Vita. Right?
But not the other way around.
Well,
that seems like the natural way you'd want to do it.
Well, that's sort of like...
Why would you want to take your game from a big screen to a small screen?
So that you can take it with you.
I guess, but doesn't it ruin the gameplay?
Why?
I don't know. It just seems like it does. I don't know why
it has all the same buttons as a controller.
I know. I just don't understand why you'd want to do that.
But anyway, they're having, like, Gravity Rush was probably one of the better selling games on the Vita. And it came out pretty near where it was released, so that's probably why. But then, it's like, people liked it enough that they brought it to the PS4, and then the sequel is also on the PS4.
Will there ever be, like, another game console?
What do you mean?
Like,
yes.
I'm sorry, that didn't come out clearly. Sorry, this is, like, not super relevant, but I was just, like, thinking about how, like, Nintendo has fallen, like, so far to the back of the pack. Right?
Yeah.
Like, in a lot of ways. Like, they have some really big franchises that people care about. Like, people will always buy the new Pokemon game. People will always buy the new Zelda, Mario, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
But, like, that's all that they do. Right? Am I wrong in that? I feel like there are just not that many Wii games that are sort of outside of their, like, whatever. So maybe the Switch will be different. But they just don't make games... The games don't cross over from... Like, Sorry, that was a lot of tongue-tiedness. There are a lot of games that happen on both the Xbox and the PlayStation. But you hardly ever see games that are like PlayStation and the Wii. Right?
Yeah.
And so what I'm wondering is, like, but I always think of it, whenever I think of game consoles, it's like, you know, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, like, will there ever be another one? Will somebody come up in the market and do something new?
Maybe. I think, both, there's potential for either Google or Amazon to enter.
Think about that.
The console. I know Google has been working on virtual reality, for instance, and I think I've read some things about Amazon.
Amazon could come in and destroy.
Well, they're working on their own engine. I'm pretty sure Amazon. I would have to double check on that, but like Unreal and the other one, the other pretty sure they both start with Un, but those ones. I think they were working on their own sort of engine. But yeah, I would say there's not a terrible chance.
Okay, secondary question. Will there ever be a Netflix for video games? Like, I pay, whatever, like $10 a month, and I can play any of their library of video games.
That'd be hard.
How so?
Well, you would have to download them.
Yeah, it's like Spotify Premium, right? Like...
But games are much bigger than music.
No, totally, of course. I'm just saying, like, you know, of course it would take a long time, but something that you would be set up like the PSN store, or like, I don't know why I can't remember the name of Steam.
Oh yeah, Amazon has Amazon Lumberyard.
Huh.
Free cross-platform 3D game engine.
Weird.
So, there you go.
But no, Netflix for games. What do you think?
Isn't that like Redbox? Redbox also has movies, but they also have games that you can rent.
Right. But that's like the Blockbuster model, right? And we all know what happened to Blockbuster. You know, like literally like a streaming game thing. Would that even be possible?
And I think that one issue would be that some things don't run on every game system, right?
Yeah.
You have exclusives.
Okay, that's fine. Like, that wouldn't be on the thing. Like, if PlayStation Network, right, is gonna say, like, we have, like, our store where you can buy individual games, or you can pay us X dollars a month, and you can play whatever game you want.
Oh, PlayStation does have a subscription service.
Really?
Yeah. PlayStation Now, I think. But yeah, they sort of have something like that. It's not exactly like that. It's like you get certain games like every month or something.
Huh. Like a subscription box service.
Yeah, it's a
except online
subscription service. And I'm not entirely sure how it works, but like they add new games to it every month. It's like PlayStation 3 games to the PlayStation 4 or something like that.
Huh.
I'm not entirely sure how it works.
I just think that's interesting. I feel like, I don't know, like TV became such a huge, bigger thing. I feel like Netflix was a huge part of that. Mm-hmm. Like, not even just like Netflix's content, but just the accessibility of being able to watch old television shows.
Yeah.
Or whatever, binge watch. It changed the game. And I feel like having the same thing happen for video games could raise the sort of cultural profile. Maybe. Or the prestige. You know, you could go back and, like, play the old classic video games.
Well, you can still sort of do that.
I know you can, but you can't play Team Buddies.
Okay. Yes, Team Buddies, the classic of all classics.
Whatever.
Okay.
No, I've gotten way away from Gravity Rush, so let's get back. But yeah, just musings.
Yeah.
So, I just don't understand, like, what do you do? Are you trying to save the city?
Yeah.
Even though you don't know who you are or what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Can you choose not to save the city?
No. I mean, that's just how the story goes.
Gotcha.
It is not a choice-based game.
I know.
It's a very small open world.
I see.
Like, a very tiny one.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there's not linear progressions, and theoretically you can go wherever you want. There's, like, challenge missions, and there's, on the remastered version, they have, like, all the DLC packs they released, so there's side missions, and then you have your main missions.
And it seems like you, like, win things when you get the mission done. I'm always hearing that sound effect.
Oh, you have to collect gems, which you can use to fix things around the city and unlock more challenge missions, or you can use to upgrade your sort of skills and stuff. So you can get more health, or your gravity gauge is bigger.
Gauge?
Gauge. Isn't it gauge?
G-A-U-G-E?
Yeah, but when it's like a thing, not like when you're gauging something.
What do you think the gauge is?
No, like when it's a noun versus a verb.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a gauge.
Okay. Whatever. But that is bigger, or it goes down slower, or your attacks are more powerful, or whatever.
I see. And, like, do you have, like, buddies?
You have a cat that seems to be the... You have a cat. Well, that's why your name is Cat. Because you run into a police officer who has no sense of creativity. But you have a cat who it seems like is the source of your gravity powers, because you've met this other gravity shifter who has a crow that looks very similar.
Like a daemon.
Yeah.
From his Dark Materials.
Yes, from his Dark Materials. Sort of like that.
Interesting.
But people don't really like gravity shifters, so part of what you do by doing challenge missions or by fixing things around the city is, like, your reputation goes up.
Huh.
Which I think unlocks more things, maybe? I'm not entirely sure what your reputation thing does.
I'm trying to think of how to do this with Zoo Tycoon, and I feel like it's just a recipe for disaster. You know?
Yeah.
It's basically what you already do with Zoo Tycoon.
Maybe it's like a Zoo Tycoon in space.
Yeah, and you could just, shift people around, and you've got animals up on the ceiling, and you have to have, gravity spots.
Yeah.
But people think that you're bad. You know, you have to teach them you're a good zookeeper.
They're worried, what your technology is doing to the animals.
And it's probably doing bad things.
Hey, how do you know? No, they're totally safe.
That was a little excerpt from the dialogue of the game. Hey, how do you know? It's totally safe. That's why people don't trust you.
Yeah.
That seems solid. No, I don't really it's too simple. Or it's like if all the animals in the world suddenly decided that they were gravity shifters and you have to convince them to stop. By fencing them in and inviting humans to see them for money.
That sounds a little bit dark.
Yeah, well, okay. See, have you listened to the way that you play Zoo Tycoon? It doesn't get darker than that.
But no, maybe it's like parts of the zoo have been scooped up, so it's like a zoo city, right? And you have to go save different parts of the zoo. So
can you describe the zoo city a little more? I'm not quite following.
It's you have maybe it's just the animals live there and they chill, but you have different areas, right? So you have the land mammal part of the city and the aqua part of the city.
Animals are
and
living
the dinosaur
in houses.
Part of the city. Sure.
Great. Okay.
And then you have to save parts of the city back, and then you get options to enhance those parts of the city and add animals
so
and
it's
add things,
SimCity.
add trash cans.
Trash cans. The problem is all the trash is floating everywhere. The people are angry.
Actually, a lot of times in Gravity Rush, you have to throw trash at people.
That seems
That's one of your attacks.
Wow.
You can form a stasis field. It's the most unwieldy attacks. I don't use it, but you can form a stasis field and then you can chuck things at
maybe you're building Gravity Rush exhibits. You have an exhibit.
Oh, you're building a circus Gravity Rush thing.
And everybody can switch gravity around, but you need to have cool things to do.
Yeah.
Or you're just locking them up in a tank with Gravity Rush zookeeper specialists. If we're doing Emma's, human exhibit thing with Gravity Rush.
Well, that's sort of what I was thinking about. It's like a circus. So you have to make the circus as good as you can be, and you have different, but they're shifters. You're circus people, so you have different.
How was there never a circus tycoon?
Maybe there was.
I don't think that there was.
Yeah. But that's
you're
it's circus tycoon, but
you're a
they're
clown,
shifters.
And that's why people don't like you. Because they're oh, clown! I don't really understand the clown hate.
The clown epidemic this year.
That was
true. A little weird.
That was a little weird. That was going on while I was taking a clowning class.
Yeah, they're just clowns going out and about and being scary. One at Penn State went on a clown hunt.
That's weird.
The frats. I think it was Penn State. It sounds like Penn State too. No offense to Penn Staters, but
that's bizarre. So maybe that's what's going on, and you're on a clown hunt for the clowns that can switch gravity around.
We've gotten a little bit far away here.
And there are animals.
And there are animals also.
Yeah. No, I really think it has to have something to do with the animal companions. Oh, I get it. The Gravity Rush people are causing major havoc. They've turned evil. They're what everyone thought they were. Okay. And to stop them, you have to steal their animals and make a zoo out of them.
Whoa. Cat and crow zoo.
Doesn't matter. They're dangerous. They're flying all around. It's a cat that's hovering in midair. That's not bad. I'd go see that.
It's a little scary, actually.
It's in a perfectly safe Gravity Rush proofed box.
Okay.
And then zoo would be called Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. Honestly, all I know about that show is it's, very trippy.
I know less than that.
It's, and it's animated. And it's on one of those networks that does the
that doesn't sound that different from Gravity Rush.
Except it is. It's about, a brother, twins, brother and sister, and they live,
and you're
unusual.
Twins. You're twins running the zoo.
They live in Gravity Falls, and there's, or they're visiting Gravity Falls or something, and unusual things happen.
See? This could happen. Gravity Rush could happen in Gravity Falls.
Okay.
Bonus crossover event.
Yeah, just because Madelyn can't remember the names of things.
Okay, do we really want to start that? Where's my phone? Where's my phone?
That's not the names of things.
Yeah, I know.
I mispronounce things charmingly.
Well, that's up to you to decide, listener.
Well, I do. So, I said triology up until like the
You
fourth
better
grade.
agree with her, or she's gonna put you inside a fence, an electric fence.
It was
And
never an electric fence. It was just a fence.
You'll have vending machines, but there'll be a zookeeper to take care of you, so don't worry.
No,
folks.
actually, I would just put the janitor in every once in a while to clean up the trash, and then take them out again.
And on that note, this has been another episode of Talk This.
We hope you've enjoyed.
I'm Madelyn, the sane sister.
I'm Emma, the cool sister.
By cool, she means cruel.
By cool, I mean cool.
She already admitted she mispronounces words.
Rad.
So we're gonna go ahead now and pick our games for the next episode. We've got them on slips of paper. Can't prove that to you, but
This is the sound of them.
so which game am I picking?
A new game.
The new game. Great. So I'm gonna know what this is, right?
Sure.
Oh, I just threw them everywhere. Watch Dogs 2. Okay. I've seen Emma play a little bit of this one, so hopefully I'll be able to add some intelligent commentary.
There, that's always the hope, huh?
Alright, Emma's picking the old game.
Alright. Here's the sound of paper, so you know we're not lying to you.
Could be rubbing any paper. Emma just threw paper all over the floor.
Okami.
Okami! I love Okami. Okami is like Zoo Tycoon.
Madelyn loves like Okami.
Okami is great. I've never finished it, but I enjoy it every time I start playing it. What a great game.
We said that we had these in a hat. We really should get a hat for these instead of just it's a hoodie. Like, it's not a hoodie. It's a beanie. So, but anyway, that's what we're doing next week.
Not next week.
Next 2 weeks.
But
in a fortnight.
We're looking forward to spending more time, and thanks for letting us into your ears today.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.